Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. All seem not to be so well in APC as the issue of zoning may bring up a serious challenge and possibly may disunite or scatter the party from what we are seeing thus far. Don't forget that before now it was hopeful that when presidency is talked about in APC it will be zoned to the south, but from what we just heard this afternoon, which if you check our feed you're going to see the video that we did there about what Saliu Lukman had to say, that there is no room for zoning, that even Buhari himself has not said anything about zoning, neither had it been practiced in APC, that what everyone will be privileged to enjoy is open contest. If you know how to play your game well, sure, you're going to feature as a ticket bearer of the party. If you don't know how to play your game well, if you don't know how to lobby well, then you're going to be frustrated. For him, he said that there's no foreclosure for any geopolitical zone to contest for any position. And right now, the former governor of Lagos State, who is currently Buhari's minister, had decided to speak, or Minister of Works, have decided to speak, talking about Fashola. Fashola has decided to talk about the need to honor agreement, because we already know that in 2011 there was an agreement between CPC and AD who came together to become APC, and he's trying to say some strong things. Most people believe why he's overly interested in this issue of zoning is because he's a loyalist of Tinubu, and they know that the whole thing, the way it's going, is really going to affect Tinubu a great deal. That's why he's coming out to speak. But before we go into further details, let's first of all look at the content of the news. What is the former governor of Lagos State saying, and also the Minister of Work under Buhari administration? Let's look at it in a jiffy. And according to the news, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has said although the issue of zoning was more of gentleman agreement, it behoves on party who enter into such agreement to honor them. Fashola, a former governor of Lagos State and chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, said this while speaking to reporters covering the activities of the party in Abuja on Tuesday. The minister said, first, let's talk about law. Let's talk about agreement. The law is the Constitution. The Constitution decides the age at which you can contest certain positions, and there is nothing in the Constitution that says zoning. All our political parties are clubs where you write agreement just like a social club, and we can decide that it is the youngest person who will be the chairman of the club, or we can decide that it's the oldest person or the next female or the next male. That is the matter of agreement between people. But the Constitution that sets up the climate of political party formation does not prescribe zoning. The truth is that what makes an agreement specification is the honor in which it is made, not whether it is written. If it was written, there would be no court case of breaching of contract, because it's a document that is written and signed that goes to court. But the private agreement you make with your brother and sister can be breached. It is honor. He explained that the best politics was one that would enhance good governance and impact positively on the lives of most especially the vulnerable in the society. The APC chieftain said, I belong to a party, APC, and it is committed to good governance because I think the best politics is good governance. The beauty of it for me is the opportunity it gives to impact people's life. We have elections only once in 4 years, but we have the responsibility to provide good governance every day, and that's the culture. While speaking on the chances of the APC to retain power in 2023, he said to retain power in 2023, certainly if we keep our promise, is that simple. That's politics. If you do what you say you will do, even if you don't do 100%, and they see that you are making progress, they will even want you to finish something you started. He maintained that opposition political party in Nigeria currently have not shown the capacity to upstage the APC. Fashola said our opposition has to think better than us in order to defeat us. Right now, they are not doing that. When it's election time, they should come and meet us. Wow. This is, really interesting, considering the fact that everybody seems to be talking about zoning. Don't forget that the last video we did also talked about the issue of zoning, that for APC, there is nothing like zoning. Why? Because it has not been prescribed into their constitution. It wasn't in the time they were writing their constitution. It was just an agreement, which seemingly they felt that since we are almost like brothers and sisters now, we can agree on something and stick to it if we really want to be a success in securing, the principal position in the society. But from what we have heard the Northerners talked about now, it clearly shows that there is no room for zoning, and that is a way of dishonoring what had been agreed on. And that's one step towards failing, because if, for example, I had said I am going to be the president today, and tomorrow when we contest another election, I'm going to hand over to you, and when that time reach, I begin to speak story, you will see that it will go an extra mile in dividing the house. And I think that is what will happen, because I could still remember at one time when Saraki started having issue with APC, he came up and made some disclosure, and his own question was, what he said disclosed was that he had asked Tinubu, why are you still bent on in 2019 supporting Buhari? He said that even if, and according to him, he said that Tinubu responded that even if Buhari is on his deathbed, even if he's in the hospital bed, he will support him because he is going to hand over to him, which means at one point the leaders of the two parties had come into agreement. I'm talking about CPC and also AD. At one time they came into agreement believing that they would stand by the agreement. But unfortunately, the way things are going, the younger generations are coming up and said, hey, we won't allow older generations again to take over, which means that there's going to be interruption at one point, because if the younger generations are saying, we are not giving in again, we are tired of the old generation, they have failed us, we've given them multiple opportunity, and what we have seen is failure all the time. For example, look at the case of Buhari. It wasn't so good. I could still remember also that within this period when the youths were really agitating for a change in virtually everything, that Buhari also, the presidency, possibly Buhari or any other person who is in the presidency, he said that the youth should just give them a little more time, that they will be over with the administration, which means it's going to be an open contest. And right now, according to the news that we have had some few days ago, the Arewa youth leader, that's Yerima Shetima, came up and said that no more room for all cargoes in the north. And guess what? That same thing is said in the south. We are tired of all cargoes. Those who have been in the place of power for so long, younger hands now are being sorted after. Even today, when Garus Gololo had to speak concerning Jonathan coming in to possibly contest, he was trying to presume possibly what the governors, APC governors, had discussed with Jonathan. And one of the things he said was that even if Jonathan intends to come in and go in for the position of presidency, that he will not have such opportunity, because Nigerians are no more willing to give opportunity to anyone who has been tested and the person had failed. He said that just to show you that the rancor and the issues of youth saying that no more opportunity for the old cargoes, it therefore means that it may overturn certain agreements, and that will go an extra mile in destabilizing or disuniting the party. Exactly, that's the situation on ground. So right now, everyone, for example, those who are loyalists of Tinubu, they are trying to reach and they are trying to make declaration pointing to the fact that despite the fact that we did not put this thing in writing, but agreement is agreement. If we talked about zoning, it should be honored. No more, there shouldn't be continuous issue. This kind of issues shouldn't continue again. If we have given you support when it was your own turn, we gave you adequate support, then you've got to give us our support also. And for me, I feel at this point that because of the level of failure Nigeria has encountered, all political parties will want to bring out the best candidates so that they can secure the vote of the people. Because with what had happened some days ago or some weeks ago, talking about the NSAS situation and protests against bad governance, it clearly shows that truly that when we talk about votes, or electing people into key position, the power still belongs to the electorate. And with what we just saw in the NSAS, it clearly means that the electorate can wake up one day and decide the kind of person that must be put there. Right now, the electorates are saying that the system has been messed up. We want capable hands. So if your party is going to bring up someone to contest the election, it must be one who had been tested, trusted, proven with evidence every way that he can perform for the country. Because, hey, Nigerians are tired of this continuous failure in leadership. And with that, what do you have to say? Go to our comment section. Let's interact. Do you think that with this issue of zoning not being honored, that it may disintegrate political parties in Nigeria? Let's interact.